For more than 160 years, the Mission to Seafarers has been working tirelessly to promote the health, safety, and well-being of seafarers and their families. Today, we're one of the world's largest port welfare charities, serving seafarers in more than 200 ports across 50 countries. With over 90% of our goods and fuels transported by sea, so much of our prosperity depends on merchant shipping. And the men and women who keep this vital sector running need to know, when they are out at sea and far away from home, that somebody is looking out for them. They need to feel seen, heard, and understood. At the heart of our work is our ship visiting program. Our network of chaplains and volunteers make over 60,000 ship visits each year. This gives seafarers the chance to talk about their mental health, any concerns they have about life at home, and to access free communication with their loved ones. And for crew at sea, we provide digital chaplaincy services, available to seafarers 24/7, wherever they and their families are. Life at sea can be challenging. Seafarers spend months away from their family, and during their time away face the real risks of piracy, the trauma of abandonment, and even shipwreck. At the Mission, we're dedicated to advocating for seafarers around the world, offering support and practical assistance wherever we're needed. And when they are in port, our Flying Angel Seafarers Centres are there to help crews relax. They can call or email their families, play games, enjoy home comforts, and buy supplies. Over 400,000 visit our centres each year. We know that it's not just seafarers who face hardships. That's why we work to support seafarers' families back home as well, through our local family support networks and educational programs like We Care. Welfare, support, assistance, care. Whatever the situation, the Mission to Seafarers is here to look out for some of the world's most invisible workers.
Well, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever in the world you're watching us from. I'm Sharanjeet Lail, and I'm here today to welcome you to the Mission to Seafarers Awards here in Singapore. We're in a magnificent studio here at the Ritz-Carlton, and of course it provides a professional backdrop for these important awards. Now, of course, if you think I look familiar, it's because you may have seen me on many years on BBC World News covering business, finance and politics for the last 18 years. And here in Singapore, the maritime industry is an important and prominent feature of many of the news stories I've covered over the years. And more than 90% of the world's trade is transported by sea by the 1.8 million seafarers who are largely responsible. We're putting a spotlight on them and, of course, the companies they represent. They have faced huge challenges this year, coping with vastly extended periods at sea, in some cases up to 22 months. Now, they have been stranded because of the difficulties in air transport and confined to their ships as shore leave was cancelled. At one point, there were more than 400,000 seafarers working beyond their normal contracted period with no certainty of when they would get home. Well, now, before we launch into the programme, I want to first of all recognise our generous and loyal sponsors, Shell and BHP, who've been the gold sponsors of this event since 2018 and have agreed to continue in 2022, whereby we very much hope we'll be able to meet in person. Well, our silver sponsors, BV North, SOS and SMOU, and our glass award sponsor, HFW, our thanks and appreciation to them for supporting these events financially so we can really do justice in recognising seafarers and their welfare. Now, we've got 6 awards today, one more than usual, as we have had 3 rescue nominations submitted for the Seafarer Award, and we felt it was very important to judge them in their own separate category. We also have a packed programme of updates and videos from the mission to illustrate the work we've been carrying out over the past 18 months or so, showing the impact of the mission's work and the impact of the financial support it gains from the industry. Now, in the run-up to Christmas and in the spirit of giving, you may want to consider your own special donation to the mission's work, and I certainly encourage you to do this, knowing how much we value seafarers' welfare. Well, now I would like to introduce Captain Rob Walker, Chairman to the Mission to Seafarers Singapore, who will update you on the work of the mission here in Singapore. Of course, Captain Rob Walker is no stranger to many of you. He's the Group COO of ASP Ships Group, provides services and solutions to the global maritime industry. He also finds time to play an active role as Chairman of the Mission to Seafarers. Over to you, Rob.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Saranjeet. Greetings, everyone, wherever you may be, and a very warm welcome to this second virtual awards ceremony, the fourth awards ceremony in total. I'll be very honest with you and say that I never thought I'd be welcoming you to our second virtual event. I was certain we would be enjoying a dinner evening together this year, but alas, it's not to be. Nevertheless, as we all become adapted to this virtual world, we again adopted the best alternative. And I'm excited and proud to say that yet again, the nominations have been very strong and have presented the judges with a significant challenge to select the eventual winners. And because the response has been so good, we have added a sixth award, as Saranjeet mentioned, a category for a Rescue at Sea award. So my advanced congratulations to the winners, but most importantly to all nominees. As I always say, it is in taking part that counts. My sincere thanks to Saranjeet and all our guests today, who are collectively stalwart supporters of our cause and who have the envious task of announcing the winners. There is no need for me to say what a stressful year it's been again for the industry, and particularly for the welfare of our seafarers and their families, both at sea and ashore. I know what you think, but my opinion is it's been a year of increasing uncertainty for various reasons, virus strains developing, and to repeatedly challenge our efforts to cope. But just when we thought things were improving, we get knocked back, which really does test our resilience. But to put a positive spin on proceedings, it's my opinion, and I'm not sure what you think, that the world is finally waking up to the realization of how important seafarers are to the supply chains and the key role they play in keeping our world spinning on its axis. At the mission, we have continued to stay on a high alert through the year with the awareness that different needs may arise from seafarers for our work and for us to adapt to the challenges of responding to those needs, as well as maintaining our core business as usual approach. Unfortunately, our drop-in centres remain closed and restrictions on ship visiting continues. But nonetheless, the port chaplain and his team have been kept very busy. And our port chaplain, Soon Kok, will brief you on the details later in the programme. We've also been severely restricted in our ability to maintain our normal channels of funding, of course, and in order to meet the costs of our work. But as with last year, I have to say the support from our regular partners and the generosity we'd witnessed during the year through extraordinary donations, absolutely tremendous. I would like to thank our gold sponsors, Shell and BHP. They have been with our gold sponsors for this event since 2018 and have agreed to continue through into next year. Our silver sponsors, BV, North, SOS and SMOU, and our glass sponsor, HFW. This occasion would not have been possible without the immense help from our panel of judges as well. Esben Poulsen, Andrew Wright, James Moran, Mike Mead, and Chia An An. So, on behalf of the mission in Singapore, I must say we are eternally grateful for this continued show of support, not only in these difficult times, but as always. We have a very busy schedule ahead with 6 awards to announce, so I'll not take any more of the time up, and I'm sure you will agree the stories we are about to hear shows just how much effort is going into the caring of our seafarers and their families.
Well, thank you so much for that, Rob. Really crucial to hear the splendid work that you're doing against the backdrop of so many difficulties. It's good to know that we are all still able to provide a relevant and important service to seafarers, despite the heavy restrictions placed on access to port and ships. Fortunately, the digital world has come into its own, and seafarers can reach out to chaplains in a variety of ways, so a lifeline is always available. So, as the excitement builds, we will start with our first award, the Important Seafarer Award, which is presented for the seafarer who's made a significant contribution to seafarers' welfare at sea. With the pandemic and crew change crisis causing much pressure on seafarers' welfare, we know how important it is that everyone plays their part in looking out for each other at sea. Now, some seafarers have spent up to 17 months away from home, desperate to get home and yet not knowing when that might be. Now, to present this important award is Nick Potter. He's the head of shipping and maritime for Shell in the Asia Pacific and Middle East. We're delighted that Nick is here in the studio with me to make this announcement. But before Nick speaks, we have a short video from Shell, and then it'll be over to Nick.
How are you today? That's a simple question. But the answer often isn't. Why?
Great.
Because
Sorry
life
about that
can be
introduction. It was
complicated.
way too...
And this can affect our mental health. As members of the seafaring community, we all have an increased risk of mental health problems. So, what is mental health? First, we all have it. That's right. Just like the bumps, bruises, coughs, and colds of our physical health, we have the ups, downs, sad, and bad days of our mental health. And why does that matter? Well, when we feel happy and good, it doesn't. But on the days we feel sad, bad, or down, we are more likely to pretend we don't have a problem. Yes, on the days we most need help, we are most likely not to ask for it. We worry we'll look weak, or about what people will think. Maybe we're scared we'll lose our jobs, friends, homes, if we talk. Or even worse, we fear no one will listen, no one will care. No one should ever have to feel like that. That's why we've created the Maritime Wellbeing Program. What is it? It's a collection of easy-to-use materials on a website and app that you can access wherever you are to help you navigate what's going on inside. It has practical tips and tools to help you have good mental health and to recognize if others may need support. It can help you build resilience if you're under pressure, and find handy hints to help you manage stressful situations, including tiredness. It will help you find ways to keep things simple, because life isn't. You don't ever have to feel unsafe or miserable at work. We want to keep you well and get you safely back to your loved ones. We welcome your support to help us create a thriving culture of care with the Maritime Wellbeing Program. This could help make a difference to thousands of lives.
Thank you, Sharanjeet, and good morning and good afternoon, depending on where you're joining us from. The Seafarers Awards celebrates and shines a light on the essential work our seafarers do. That work could not be more critical than right now, when uncertainties such as crew change restrictions, loss of work, and curtailment of shore leave severely impact the well-being of our seafarers. Supporting the work of the Mission to Seafarers and the dedication of the mission's chaplains and staff helping seafarers in ports around the world remains an honour for Shell. The safety of seafarers has to be our highest priority. This has been a very challenging period for the industry, but that just means we have to increase our efforts to support seafarers and ensure that they're operating in an as safe environment as we can make it. No one should feel unsafe or unhappy at work, and we all play a role in making this a reality. As charterers, we are working directly with owners and managers to develop suitable crew change plans where needed. We continue to work with governments, ports, and industry bodies to secure support for seafarers. Mental well-being challenges in our industry was already at acute levels before the pandemic. Shell has always considered care for our people a core value. For several years, our own staff of 2,000 seafarers have been provided with a program designed to support their mental resilience, including a 24/7 helpline. In the earlier video, we introduced maritimewellbeing.com, developed after we commissioned one of the largest studies into seafarer well-being to have been carried out. It included the detailed review of nearly 700 academic papers, more than 50 publications, and nearly 30 interviews with health professionals, experts in human factors, psychology, and well-being from within Shell and other safety-critical industries. This research has allowed us to build a suite of programs that are directly applicable to seafarers and improve their well-being, and is freely available to the entire industry at maritimewellbeing.com. Maritimewellbeing.com further complements the Let's Talk and the resilience modules developed as part of the Maritime Partners in Safety program, which is also available to the wider industry. And we recently released a physical well-being module on exercise that reinforces the importance of physical well-being to our mental health. Whilst we've seen some improvement in the ability for crew change globally, many challenges remain, and we must continue to work together across the industry. Despite the turmoil, essential operations have carried on, and I am truly grateful to the seafarers and shore staff that have continued to make this happen. Safely and reliably undertaking this despite the huge challenges. It is during these times that dedicated people, that are true inspirations, come forward, showing selflessness, deep empathy and care for fellow seafarers. So I'm honored to be presenting the Seafarers Award for the seafarer who has made the most significant contribution to seafarers' welfare. The outstanding candidates who made it onto this year's shortlist for this award are Ku Wei Loon from SMOU, Chief Cook Luvimar Ibe from Jebsen PTC, Stephen Williams from BP Maritime Services, Captain Giovanni Peruccio from Jebsen PTC, Servet Akturk from Scorpio Group, and finally, Siti Nasuna Binti Abdul Rahman from SMOU. So, I'm pleased to announce that the winner is Chief Cook Luvimar Ibe of Jebsen PTC. Chief Cook Ibe was nominated by Roganan Pepito, Head of Recruitment for Jebsen PTC Maritime Inc., based in Makati City, Philippines. And he provides the following account of why he felt Chief Cook Ibe was a good candidate for this award. Beyond ensuring that the entire galley operations in the ship run smoothly, Chief Cook Ibe's ultimate responsibility involves preparing daily meals for the crew that are not only delicious and nutritious, but also diverse and visually appetizing. This is a difficult and challenging balance to strike on board when you're working with tight budgets and limited ingredients. Many of them aren't available on board all of the time. Food and nutrition are vital to optimal performance of the crew members, and Chief Cook Ibai knows the right combination of dishes that provide sustenance and energy to all crew members. They need to work every single day in tasks that range from strenuous manual labor to high-level machine control and supervision. And he knows that food doesn't just have physical benefits, it has hugely impacted mental health and well-being of his fellow crew members. He likes to know all the individual dietary requirements and preferences of the crew, and he always creates a meal schedule that accommodates their diverse palates. His wide variety of dishes each tell a story: celebration, camaraderie, milestone, comfort, and home. Chief Cook Ibai knows that what it means to be a seafarer, and he uses his craft to improve the welfare of crew members on board. He always goes the extra way to celebrate important occasions on board, whether it's birthdays, Seafarers' Day, Father's Day, farewell parties, anniversaries. And he likes to prepare little surprises and programs to make celebrations fun and memorable. Chief Cook Ibai graduated with a degree in marine transportation. He joined on board Jepson PTC ships as a deck boy in 1998 and assumed the role of chief cook in 2012. Aside from ensuring the good performance of his duties and responsibilities as chief cook, he also provides social and moral support to his crew members. It's important to him to know that his crewmates are doing well in terms of their job performance, but also in terms of their health and well-being. He also likes to mentor and teach his fellow crewmates in the galley department, imparting his skills and knowledge he's gained over the years as a cook. And he says doing this gives him a sense of fulfillment because he enjoys seeing his fellow crew grow and gain more experience that could help them in their career advancement. Chief Cook Ibai has consistently surpassed expectations. He's been rated outstanding in quality of nutrition and health and hygiene standards, in his variety of meals and his ability to prepare for different nationalities. He's also praised as being highly reliable in all fields of responsibility on board the ship. Let's hear more now from Chief Cook Ibai, the winner of this year's award for the seafarer who has made the most significant contribution to seafarers' welfare, as he recounts his story and he accepts his award.
Hi, good day to all of you. I am Chief Cook Livimar Ibai. It is with great pleasure and honor to receive this award. I have to thank everyone for this recognition and enormously this year's nominees, each and whom have made incredible contribution to the welfare of our fellow seafarers. Just to give you a little perspective on how I view my work, I would like to share to you this. It is not always about the spices and the title. Mostly it is about passion, love, and dedication for this job. For me, the price of success is that whether I am successful or not in what I do, I know that I did not take any shortcuts. That every fiber of my being, I gave it my all. And that I will be able to establish myself even if the outcome is not the one that I intended. I also take this opportunity to thank my family, my employers, Jepson PTC and Hapag-Lloyd, for supporting me in improving my craft. I have been with Jepson since 1998 and worked on board Hapag-Lloyd ships since 2004. I am grateful to everyone that I have worked and sailed with, for our things on shore and things on board. What a gift to me that throughout my years in this organization, I had the opportunity to work with best, who transformed me to be the best that I can be. It is true to the saying that when you are with the best, you will become the best. And it is a fact that all of us shared and sacrificed part of our lives to dedicate something more in our craft. I religiously walk that path. With this, I say to you all, remember why you started down the path that you are taking, and let that memory carry you beyond your limits. God bless us all. Stay safe. Maraming salamat.
How very inspirational. What great advice there. And thank you, Nick, for presenting that award. And many congratulations to our first winner, Chief Cook Luvima Ibe of Jebsen PTC. Of course, he highlights the importance of a good diet, which must be even more important when you're at sea doing such a physical job day in and day out. Good to know that Chief Cook Ibe and others like him are looking after all our seafarers on the 55,000 ships which ply our oceans every day. Well, now we move swiftly into our second award, which is the Shoreside Award for the shore-based person who has made a significant contribution to seafarers' welfare. Now, whilst there have been enormous pressures on seafarers during the past 2 years, the shoreside staff have felt these pressures acutely too. Faced with comrades so desperate to get home, these people have been up against changes in government regulations, flight restrictions, bereavement, all while trying to maintain a high level of mental health and welfare. Well, to announce our second award is another one of our gold sponsors, Rashpal Bhatti. He's the VP of Maritime and Supply Chain Excellence from BHP, who is also in the studio with me. And before he makes this announcement, we have a short video for you.
Sharonjeet, thank you very much, and it's so lovely to be here in the studio with you. A very good morning and a very good afternoon to everybody who's watching. First of all, congratulations to the Mission to Seafarers for organizing yet another successful Seafarer Awards. Our support and sponsorship to the Mission to Seafarers is important to BHP because it allows us to recognize the essential role seafarers play in our everyday lives. BHP is one of the world's largest bulk charterers, and whilst we don't directly employ seafarers, we do rely on more than 30,000 seafarers every year to deliver our materials and commodities from our operations and ports to our customers globally. Supporting the Mission to Seafarers is one of the ways we thank you for all the work, but more importantly, I'd like to acknowledge the role the Mission to Seafarers plays around the world. The Mission to Seafarers is such an important organization, supporting the 1.5 million seafarers who risk their lives every day to support our global economy and prosperity by providing access to over 100 chaplains and flying angel centers in over 50 countries worldwide across their network based in over 200 ports, including critical ports for BHP like Port Hedland in Australia. When we think about our communities, we must also think about seafarers. The pandemic has meant that they have not been able to get onto vessels at ports as they usually do. It's meant that seafarers have had to stay on vessels for longer than 14 months at a time. At some ports, they have also experienced situations where they have not been welcomed. But through all of this hardship, they have ensured food and essentials are delivered to our tables and shelves around the world. Seafarers are such an integral part of our society, and we must recognize and appreciate the work that they do. I would like to thank and acknowledge Shell, Nick Potter, and the team for co-sponsoring the event and supporting the mission to seafarers and the seafarer community. Finally, my sincere thanks to Captain Rob Walker, Chairman of the Mission to Seafarers Singapore, for his leadership and unwavering efforts to host this important annual event despite the challenges. And I am thrilled that we are still able to connect virtually, allowing us the opportunity to give thanks and recognize the most integral workers in our supply chain. With that, the second award is the Shoreside Award. This goes to the shoreside person who has made a significant contribution to seafarers' welfare. These candidates are those who shortlisted for the award. Firstly, Homi Barda from Campbell Shipping. Secondly, Jepson Ramido from Friendly Maritime. Thirdly, Riza Yamero from Global Marine Travel. And fourthly, but not lastly, Angelo Jacobo from Magsaysay. First of all, we would like to present a highly commended award, and I'm very pleased that this goes to Riza Homero from Global Maritime Travel. Many congratulations, Riza. It gives me great pleasure to announce that the winner of this prestigious award is Homi Barda, Chief Culture Officer for Campbell Shipping. Many congratulations, Homi. Homi Barda was nominated by Captain Rajesh Dadwal, the MD and CEO of Campbell Shipping, Nassau. Captain Rajesh speaks highly of Homi Barda in his nomination of him. Homi Barda has brought in a fundamental shift to the approach of developing seafarers' welfare, creating an environment of well-being for the seafarers at sea, rather than focusing on individual issues and solving situations in a tactical manner. The environment we create is the one that creates us. This is the grassroots philosophy which our Chief Culture Officer professes and has developed several initiatives to motivate and build an environment of well-being at sea. He believes that by creating a home away from home will help provide emotional security for seafarers. The CCO has designed and developed a soft skill program for seafarers, and through this program, seafarers get to learn a lot about their emotional well-being. It also provides them with a fresh perspective of life and gives them extra tools to deal with their emotions. This program isn't about a list of well-being do's and don'ts. It's designed to connect the participants with practical solutions and how to deal with them effectively. The several modules in the program are customized to the needs of the crew at sea, with topics are designed for both officers and ratings. There's a special focus on understanding the human mental model, which lays foundation of many topics related to emotions, communication, trust, teamwork, and eventually higher performance. Captain Dadwal believes that as more and more seafarers get an exposure to this program, there will be an environmental shift to build a home away from home for seafarers. Last year, because of the pandemic, there was a huge increase in the need for emotional support among stranded seafarers. Our CCO wasn't able to sail, so he designed a course for mental relaxation and stress management, which he delivered to almost the entire fleet. It made a real impact on seafarers who learned about how their mental conditions can cause physical illness through mind-body connections. They also learned how feeling low and suffering with poor motivation can become the cause of complacency and cause disasters at sea. This helps seafarers move from a place of denial in terms of seeking mental help to recognizing those obstacles which were preventing them from seeking help which of course would lead to a healthier life for them at sea. Some of the course topics covered included relaxation techniques, the company's motto of STOPP, stop, take 5, and also deepening the divine connection. As a result of this unprecedented experience, Homi Bada also got to learn about the deeper states of his fellow crewmates. This led to the building up of an entire program on emotional well-being and personality development. Now that there's been some lifting of travel restrictions, the CCO can deliver these sessions in person on board. No part of the training is digitized because we believe in the personal touch for seafarers, and that this is the reason for both the great response and the great results. The CEO is also a certified life coach from the International Coaching Federation, and he's offered his life coaching expertise to the crew. Yet another avenue that seafarers can take advantage of in terms of one-on-one interventions that help bring them mental clarity and overcome hurdles to emotional well-being. The CCO has also taken the lead to institutionalize a mentoring program for the fleet. Herein, the seafarers get a chance to choose their mentors who are senior masters and learn from their experiences. Mentors also get an opportunity to express their experience and build a healthier new generations. Here's a clip from our winner, Homi Bada, on how he feels about winning the award.
My name is Homi Bada, and I'm the Chief Culture Officer at Campbell Shipping. It is my delight to be awarded the Shoreways Award by Mission to Seafarers. I would like to thank Mission to Seafarers for their continuous support to the mental well-being of seafarers. Last year, we had unprecedented viral crisis, and even demanding more than that were the regulatory challenges on the seafarers. This exposed them to emotional, physical, and mental challenges at sea. Building honest, transparent partnerships with seafarers, and even extending that with their families is the key.
Created awareness on mental well-being through distant workshops, offering easy and practical tips and techniques to seafarers. Times were not easy to make vessel visits, so had to conduct distant workshops over voice facilities. Now with better travel flexibility, I get to coach in person. Especially the top 4 in topics like stress management, conflicts, and well-being of the crew on board. The results speak in support of culture of caring, sharing, and trust. And of course, lasting partnerships.
Being there to listen to individual and collective expressions of the seafarers with open and respectful mind helps them attain comfort to build a floating home away from home.
Well, again, another really inspirational story there from Homi Bada. And thank you, Rashpal, for, of course, announcing that very well-deserved winner there.
Pleasure.
It is amazing, yeah. Well, again, congratulations, Homi Bada, Chief Culture Officer of Campbell Shipping. And I'm sure this has raised the importance of our shoreside staff and all that they're doing for our seagoing seafarers. And congratulations also to Riza Yamero for her highly commended recognition. Well, now it gives me great pleasure to introduce Andrew Wright. He's the Secretary General for the Mission to Seafarers Global Operations. Based in HQ in London, Andrew has played a leading role in contributing to the seafarers' welfare during the pandemic. He's attended the regular industry meeting chaired by the International Chamber of Shipping and led the organizations through these unprecedented times with a collaborative approach to ensure seafarers have the best possible support from the mission globally. Let's hear now from Andrew.
Hello everybody, and I'm very sorry indeed not to be joining the Mission to Seafarers Singapore Awards event live this year. I hope it will go as well as 2020's very successful virtual occasion. As a judge, I have again been deeply impressed by the quantity and quality of nominations in 2021, just as I was last year. This is especially appropriate in such a very, very difficult period for seafarers. The challenges they face, witnessed firsthand by our teams around the world, have been truly extraordinary. Almost 2 years down the line now, there remain many issues and uncertainties. The crew change crisis, while improved, remains significantly unresolved, with debilitating uncertainties remaining. Shore leave remains severely limited. Basic communication with family remains difficult for some, with many unable to access easily Wi-Fi on board. And often left out of discussion are the families at home, and also those seafarers for whom the crew change crisis has meant difficulty accessing new contracts and consequent issues of financial hardship. In this context, the breadth and depth of our award nominations reflect a snapshot of the very hard work done by so many across shipping, companies and individuals, to build new ways of support and intervention in relation to crew well-being. They also reflect the heroic input of some individual seafarers, or indeed of wider crews, in helping and supporting one another. Rescue stories, literal and metaphorical, are integral to the narratives that came our way in the judging process. For our Mission to Seafarers teams, including in Singapore, there have been many challenges. We've been unable to operate our services in the normal way at a time when seafarers have been in such acute need. However, I remain enormously proud of the committed and creative way in which we've been able to find fresh and vital ways of engaging with seafarers. Top of the list has been our ship visitation at the gangway in a safe and distanced way, combined, of course, with huge and transformational amounts of personal shopping for seafarers, the delivery of vital medicines, and indeed of Wi-Fi units to help with communication for those who haven't got Wi-Fi on board. And there has also been the gift of thousands and thousands of care packages. Of course, we responded as ever to many emergency situations, whether that be personal crisis or issues faced by whole crews. We've also continued and strengthened our vital advocacy work, not least in relation to the scourge of abandonments. And we've seen abandonments significantly increase over the last few months. And we've been integral in supporting crews in many of those cases, and in helping resolve a number of high-profile cases. We've enhanced greatly our digital outreach to seafarers, both at a local and international level, including through our Chat to a Chaplain programme. Our family support networks in India, Myanmar and the Philippines have done much incredible work, some of it very dramatic and extensive. We've supported seafarers who found themselves trapped in foreign ports, unable to get home. Our Seafarers Happiness Index is being increasingly used by the industry to help assess seafarer well-being and how we can respond to changing need. And our We Care training programmes, now available online, are proving to be extremely useful in the support of seafarers and their families. In recent times, we've also been very pleased indeed to have been engaged in numerous ways and in many different places in the support of the Seafarer Vaccination Programme. In closing, I want to thank so many, especially from within shipping, for their huge generosity and support to us at a vital and demanding moment. It has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. And a special mention must go to our extraordinary Vice President and your close colleague in Singapore, Esmond Poulsen, who has made an absolutely unforgettable and historically unsurpassed contribution in making this happen. Such profound friendship, combined with such practical action, is rare indeed. Thank you, Esmond, and we, as ever, we encourage as many of you as possible to consider partnership with us. These have been challenging, but also very exciting times. The difficulties are not over, and we're watching closely to judge the long-term impact of the pandemic on shipping, on seafarers, and on our own models of working. We know the world is unlikely to be quite the same again, and much change was already in the air, even pre-COVID. Mission to Seafarers Singapore has been amongst so many of our frontline teams, ministries, in exploring and building appropriate, relevant and sustainable models in a changing environment. I expect to see much that is new and vibrant emerging in the coming years as we continue to develop our work in the light of seafarer need, but always with a focus on the core purposes which have sustained us since 1856. I wish you all well for this meeting, thanking all involved, including our sponsors, and since it's so close, wishing you all a very happy Christmas and a blessed 2022. Have a good meeting. Thank you all so much.
Well, thank you so much, Andrew, for that valuable insight into the mission's global work and impact. We now move to the third award in our sequence with the Cadet Award for the cadet or trainee who's made a significant contribution to seafarers' welfare at sea or shore. And to introduce this award is Rahim bin Jafar, the president of SMOU, which is the Singapore Maritime Officers Union, and a silver sponsor for the Seafarers Awards. Over to you, Rahim.
Good day, everyone. It is my pleasure to be part of this virtual awards event, and thank you to Mission to Seafarers Singapore for having me here today. Seafarers have been through many challenges during the pandemic, and it is therefore wonderful that MTSS has once again organized the Seafarer Awards Singapore this year to honor our seagoing workers. SMOU is also glad to have been able to work closely with MTSS and our tripartite partners during the pandemic to reach out and support our key workers by distributing care packs at our ports. Thank you, Seafarers, for your hard work. Your sacrifices have made a difference. Be assured that SMOU is always here for you. We now come to our third award. This is the Cadet Award for the cadet or trainee who has made a significant contribution to seafarers' welfare, either at sea or ashore. The shortlisted candidates are Irhan Bernard Sabanal Balinis, Gerald Kishan Joseph from SMOU, Gurleen Singh from Scorpio Group. I'm pleased to announce the winner of this year's Cadet Award is Irhan Bernard Sabanal Balinis. Congratulations. Irhan was nominated by both the Chief Officer Alexander Witkowski and Master Nikolai Krenitsky. They had high praises for him, and this is why they felt compelled to nominate him. Mr. Balinis' passion for the welfare of his comrades and the maritime industry can best be exemplified by his article publications. His work's central focus is to empower the youth in maritime to take a stand and contribute to the industry discussion concerning their welfare. He's aware that his generation will be the reapers of the efforts of both the IMO and its stakeholders. He has encouraged roundtable discussions in the mess room, which not only foster critical thinking, but is also a good avenue for solidifying camaraderie and social cohesion. He encourages his co-young seafarers to join maritime forums to have their voices heard. He also been profiled by the IMO as the Third World Maritime Seafarers Profile, the only support level rank and Filipino to be featured on the website. In addition, Human Rights at Sea have appointed him to represent the young generation. Mr. Balinis is the incumbent international and maritime representative for the Royal Institute of Navigation Younger Members Group. He believes that age isn't a hindrance to making a difference in the life of others. In the midst of the crew change crisis, He has dedicated some of his time to create well-written essays which talk of sea life and all its adversities, and has been interviewed in several roundtables and webinars like Seafarers' Point of View, Maritime Matters, Crew Welfare Week, and many others. Let us hear from Irhen Bernard Sabanal Bellinis as he accepts his award.
Hi everyone, I'm Wyron Bernard and I'm a seafarer from the Philippines. I am honored to receive this year's Cadet of the Year award given by the Mission to Seafarers. This award is not only for me, but for all young navigators and cadets braving the seas and pushing forward in the industry. Your role will be important as you will be the future captains, chief engineers, or whatever you want yourself to be. Rest assured that as an advisor for human rights at sea, I will continue on advocating for a fairer future for you. My work as the International and Maritime Representative for the Royal Institute of Navigation Younger Members Group as the regular writer for Navigation News centers on giving voice to the youth in maritime. Well, I hope with my works with Safety for Sea, The Sea, Marine Professional, Seaways, and other maritime journals, I can inspire more youth to take a stand. Motivated by that vision, I became a panelist in the World Maritime Day webinar hosted by the International Maritime Organization themselves. I was the youngest in an all-seafarer panel composed of ship captains and port captain. I firmly believe that we, the next generation of maritime professionals, will soon be the key drivers of tomorrow. After all, you cannot spell maritime without me. I would like to take this opportunity to thank my proposers, Captain Krinitsky, Captain Ruslan, Chief Officer Sergey, Alexander, and to all my colleagues in MV Genesis and Navy Gwen. And of course to my family, Mommy, Daddy, Nay, Tay, Auntie In, Auntie Umba, Juela, Marcy, Nicole, Harry, Roby, and of course to the Almighty. I couldn't have done it without His guidance. All glory and honor is His. Thank you so much, the Mission to Seafarers. I hope to see you all soon. Again, I am honored to receive this year's Cadet of the Year award. Onwards, we sail to a stronger maritime industry.
Great job, Irhan. Many congratulations to him for winning the Cadet Award, and good luck to him in his developing career. And thank you as well, Rahim bin Jafar, for announcing this award, and to the SMOU for their silver sponsorship. And now we move on to our fourth award, the Innovation Award, which is presented to the company who has embraced a new program, project, or training which has enhanced seafarers' welfare. And to present this award is David Barrow. He's the Vice President for South Asia and Pacific of Bureau Veritas. And of course, we thank Bureau Veritas for their silver sponsorship of the awards. Let's hear from him now.
Thank you, Sharanji. And first of all, a big thank you to the Mission of Seafarers, to Rob and the team for putting this event together. It's really crucial. Here at Bureau Veritas, we are committed to support our seafarers. It's imperative we do. It's imperative to support them now, here today, to our existing seafarers, but also to show demonstration of a commitment to people we're trying to bring into the industry. We'll never attract good talent if we don't look after our seafarers. So Bureau Veritas, we are committed, and we'll commit to support the seafarers as we go forward. The fourth award is the Innovation Award. This is presented to an individual or a company who has embraced a new program, project, or training which has enhanced the welfare of seafarers. Those candidates who made it onto this year's shortlist are Greywing, MagSaysay, PMP, Fleet, Seaspan, the Scorpio Group, and IMEC. Firstly, though, we'd like to present highly commended awards, which has been jointly awarded to Fleet and Greywing. So it gives me great pleasure to announce the winner of this year's Innovation Award is MagSaysay, nominated by Marlon Rono, President of the MagSaysay People Resources Corporation. MagSaysay gives the utmost priority to its people, particularly to its thousands of seafarers. It does so through a number of programs and initiatives that aim to empower, to address social challenges, and to promote sustainable well-being. We know that 2020 saw the world ground to a halt under the impact of the global COVID-19 pandemic. Billions of people were affected. The overseas Filipino workers were no exception, and they were among those hit the hardest. Having realized the physical and emotional fatigue brought about the pandemic, Magsaysay People Resources launched a comprehensive We Care program package to provide support and assistance to seafarers and their families. They provided COVID-19 assistance when the pandemic started by quickly focusing on the seafarers, the lifeblood of talent that fuels our industry. They worked with its principals and the different Filipino authorities as well, the government agencies, to ensure the safe repatriation of seafarers and offered support and assistance to both seafarers and their families. They provided food and medical supplies and quarantine facilities for way over 3,000 seafarers, as well as temporary lodgings for those seafarers, sadly, who were not able to reach home. Magsay also provided mental wellness programs, including a buddy system for over 20,000 seafarers, mental health webinars, loan programs, and other resources such as the mission's onboard mental health champions. They initiated a number of road to recovery programs to address the needs of the maritime workforce and to ensure the seafarers are provided with opportunities when they're at sea whilst protecting them from the virus. Magsay lobbied governments to provide swift, smooth crew changes. They moved training onto digital platforms. They set up online facilities for the processing of documents and worked hard to drive the vaccination program. Magsay provided a case study of one of their most extensive repatriation efforts with the Diamond Princess. More than 450 crew members were brought home safely. Like all of us, seafarers just don't worry about the impact of the virus on themselves. They also have their families to worry about. And this effort would have gone a long way to assuring those fear and worries. To date, they've been able to safely bring home more than 20,000 seafarers from both cruise and merchant ships. It's fantastic. I'm sure we want to hear from Magsaysay as they accept their innovation awards. So let's do that now.
Good day to everyone. I would like to congratulate the Mission to Seafarers for successfully staging the Seafarers Awards 2021, despite the challenges brought about by the pandemic. It is an honor for Magsaysay People Resource Corporation to be awarded the Innovation Award. The impacts of the unprecedented global health crisis have been truly challenging. However, instead of focusing on the difficulties, we saw that this is an opportunity to back on innovative ideas and solutions. True to our value of innovation and we care, we invested in various initiatives to further improve our services in education, training, and talent retention. Our innovative programs have helped address workforce needs, provided opportunities at sea, and allowed thousands of our seafarers succeed in their careers. This award is a testament to our steadfast commitment to support our organization. Seafarers and partners, adapt with the changes we are facing. Again, we thank Mission to Seafarers for this recognition. Congratulations to all the winners.
Well, once again, many congratulations to Magsaysay for winning the Innovation Award with their many initiatives in addressing crew welfare during the pandemic. Their support across many aspects of crew welfare, including the buddy system and their road to recovery. Congratulations to the two companies who were highly commended as well, Greywing and Fleet. And thank you, David Barrow, for presenting this important Innovation Award. Now, I'd like to introduce Soon Kok. He's the MTS Singapore Port Chaplain. For those of you here in Singapore, of course, Soon Kok is a familiar face with the seafarers and with the industry, having appeared on several panels as MTS spokesman. He was most recently seen receiving a Maritime SG Care Award on behalf of the mission. Sun Kok's been with the mission for nearly 20 years. He started off as a contract staff member visiting ships and manning the drop-in centre at Jurong Port. He later rose to the post of a centre manager and subsequently the port chaplain several years ago. And of course, Sun Kok continues to find satisfaction reaching out to seafarers in need of help and training, those who have common interests and passionate as well about crew welfare. Let's hear from Sun Kok and what he's got to say about his work in Singapore. Sun Kok, over to you.
Thank you very much, Saranjit. Very good afternoon to one and all. Thank you very much for joining us in giving due recognition to our seafarers, to all our heroes on this yearly event. It's a privilege to celebrate this very meaningful occasion with all of you. The Mission to Seafarers has been looking after the total well-being of seafarers since 1856. And today we continue to reach out to seafarers in more than 200 ports in 50 countries, addressing their social and spiritual needs. And locally, Mission to Seafarers Singapore will be celebrating our 100th anniversary in a few years. And over the years, we have seen changes in shipping patterns. Needs of seafarers today are different from those 20 or 30 years ago. I remember vividly, seafarers used to hand me stacks of letters to be posted, but they do not have to do that anymore. There used to be long queues forming right in front of the phone booth in the ports, but they do not have to go through those hassles any longer. Things have changed. Our drop-in centers have mitigated some of those issues. We have welcomed thousands of seafarers. They are a home away from home for every seafarers in the port. Our transportation service has brought many from remote part of the ports to nearby shopping malls. Although situations and needs have changed, but we continue to be an advocate, we continue to be a prayer partner, a friend to desperate crew members, lending them our listening ear to share their joy as well as their sorrow. We are no strangers to seafarers. They are well taken care of regardless of race, regardless of nationality or religion. COVID-19 has changed many things within the span of the last couple of years. We see greater obstacles to the maritime industry. And since the onset of the pandemic, we have been lending our voices for them to be treated equally as crucial workers. They are frontline professionals who continue to bring essential items to support our healthcare system and to keep the global economy going. Shipping fraternity in Singapore has done very well. Progressive changes such as crew change and vaccinations have been made, and these welfare programs are desperately needed in times of heightened stress and tension level. And in these difficult times, while face-to-face interaction is not ideal, we have attended to their needs on the digital platform. Our chaplaincy team is busy responding to crews seeking assistance on our social media. We have been updating them on the status of crew change and vaccinations in Singapore. And we are also a part of a worldwide program. We call it Chat to a Chaplain, where crew in need of physical and mental support have access to 25 trained chaplains across all time zones 24/7. So wherever the crew may be, someone is contactable almost instantaneously. Due to the pandemic, crew members are not able to disembark to visit our drop-in centers. Now, since movements are restricted, we have made MiFi gadgets or portable routers available for them to connect with their loved ones. And these gadgets were left at the bottom of the gangway for crew members to pick up and use on board the ships. And I'm very glad to report that the connectivity has been very well received by those with limited or no internet access at all. And I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who made this service possible. And in order to encourage regular testing for COVID-19, we have been working with the Singapore Maritime Officers Union, the SMOU, who has kindly provided test kits for those who are signing off in Singapore. And we have safely delivered all these test kits in October. In my years of service, I've seen technology improved and also efficiency has increased. And moving in tandem, so has stress levels among seafarers. And as such, we are aiming to stand in the gap to keep up with the pace of their needs and provide up-to-date services. And hopefully these services will alleviate their work stress. I strongly believe giving gratitude, giving due recognition like what you and I are doing right now, providing practical help to any persons would greatly motivate and encourage them to find joy in their work. In conclusion, and on behalf of the Mission to Seafarers, I'd like to say a big thank you to all our heroes, to all the seafarers for the sacrifices you have made to keep the global economy going. Thank you and good job, my friends.
Indeed, thank you so much, Soon Kok. That was all incredibly interesting. And of course, I know our sponsors and guests will want to join me in thanking you for all you do for seafarers as well. Thanks for that. And now we come to our new award, and this is the Rescue at Sea Award, which will be presented by Paul Aston of HFW. Now, the mission has enjoyed a long partnership with HFW, who have provided valuable pro bono support and fundraising initiatives for more than 3 years. Paul, over to you.
Thank you so much. And I wish to also thank everybody at Mission to Seafarers. At first, I just want to tell a little story about Soon Kok. Just before COVID, 5 or 6 mad people, including myself, embarked on a 5-kilometer swim in the middle of the day, and it was a very hot day. And Soon Kok stood at one end of the pool without a hat, without any sunshade, and duly ticked off that we all did our 100 lengths. His endurance was quite remarkable, but unfortunately, it was not a 50-meter pool, it was a 49-meter pool. And so when I got to the end of my 100 lengths, he told me I had to do a further 2 lengths. I cannot say on air what my response to him was, but I always remember thinking, what a great guy, and what a great guy to have in Singapore. So good on you, Soon Kok, and lovely to see you. I don't want to talk too much about my firm. This is all about the person who's going to get the award, which I'll announce soon. But what I did want to say is a great thanks to MTS, because by allowing our firm to be a global charity partner with them, they have actually blessed us. It's a two-way thing. We don't just help them. They have enlightened us, helped us, allowed us to be engaged, opened the minds of many of us to actually get up and try and do a few things. And I really wish to say a great thanks to them for allowing us the privilege of being associated with them. It's so important that they have done that for us. And as a firm, we really appreciate it. They are the global charity partner of the firm's worldwide shipping group. And that has been going on for 4 years. It's a formal partnership arrangement. And I'm very pleased to say it's been renewed for at least another 3 years. I do wish to give a special mention to William McLaughlin, my colleague in London, who's a trustee and sits on the MTS board in London. He is absolutely unstinting in coordinating our efforts. He is known to everybody at MTS, and he really deserves a mention here. Some of you might want to know, what do a firm of lawyers do? Well, we try and help whenever we can, obviously in giving pro bono legal support. And I'll mention just a little bit about that later. Where we can't give help because we're not qualified or we don't have the necessary skill sets, we have, like most people in shipping, a great network of correspondents, mates around the world, so we can normally strong arm one of them to give the advice if we can't. The other person I really wish to mention is Rajani Sundara, who's a partner in our Melbourne office. She's also a trustee and sits on the Australian Council, and she has done so much for the Australian branches of Seafarers. I won't mention them all, but it relates to corporate structure, tax concession advice, helping on the model constitution product for the Australian Council, and various other things. In London, I'd like to mention this year, although there's a number of different people year on year who do their thing, but Paul Dean, head of our shipping in London, on a series of walks has since February of 2021 raised £16,500. I only mention this because the walks he was accompanied by his two black Labradors, Toby and Fenton. And I'm very pleased to say, with great humour, Toby and Fenton have been made honorary ambassadors of the MTS. Chris Jones and myself and a few others are also honorary ambassadors here in Singapore. So I want you all to know we now have two black Labradors as our colleagues. Well done. Our Dubai office has helped out, particularly in translations from Arabic to English, sponsoring golf charity days and such like. But as I said, enough about us. Really just to thank the mission for giving us the opportunity to be involved with you, and long may it last. And for many of us, it's been a great privilege. Now, I'm very honoured, and my firm is very honoured to give a new award or present a new award that is the Rescue Award, and of course it means what it says. So the judges who reviewed all the nominations came up with the following three candidates for the award. The first is Captain Venkata Mohan Batula of Fleet Ship. The second nomination was Captain Dakane of K-Line, and the third, Captain Eddie Ordona of Mag Sese. Now, before I say any more, the judges want to make a highly commended award to Captain Venkata Mohan Batula of Fleet Ship Management. So many, many congratulations, Captain Venkata. Now, we don't have to be a mariner to know that rescue at sea is fraught with challenges, and we applaud all three captains for their heroic efforts in effecting these successful rescues. So heartfelt congratulations to all three shortlisted individuals and their crews. But unfortunately, in such things, there can only be one award. And so without any further talk, I announce that the winner of the MTS Rescue of the Year Award goes to Captain Dakane from K-Line. Congratulations. Now, before you hear from Captain Dakane, I'm sure you'd all like to know why he was chosen for the award and the facts and circumstances in which he found himself and his crew. He is or was the master of the MT Genuine Venus, and he and his crew at the time were on a passage from Algeciras to Antwerp in very rough seas. I'm sure the mariners amongst you will appreciate that that almost certainly meant the Bay of Biscay, which is notorious in the North Atlantic for foul weather off the coast of West France. And that's precisely where they were when the officer of the watch, fortunately, and I'm very pleased to say, was able to detect the AIS MOB man overboard mark. So he immediately informed the master, who took control, but more importantly, immediate action, and coordinated with the rescue center, maritime rescue coordination center, MRCC, in line with the regulations for good seamanship. The ship's engine was put on standby. The vessel then deviated from her route to engage with the rescue operations. It made contact with MRCC, BPS, and all vessels sharing the fact that there was an MOB. The MRCC arranged for a French Navy helicopter to attend the scene. I'm very pleased to say that the vessel and the helicopter were able to keep in contact and sharing the MOB position. And finally, the helicopter rescued not one, but 6 people from sea, after which the MT Genuine Venus was given permission to resume her passage. We obviously congratulate Captain Dakane for his professionalism in coordinating this rescue, which led to the safe rescue of 6 people from the Bay of Biscay. And in the judge's opinion, I understand these people would sadly otherwise have perished. What a marvelous achievement, and how gratifying it must be for all concerned in that rescue operation. So, without any more ado, it'd be good to hear direct from the winner himself. And so here is Captain Dakane accepting this great award. This for the first time, I may add, that this award has been issued by the MTS. Thank you.
Hi everyone, blessed day to all. I'm Captain Rolando Ines Lacanay Jr., Master of Motor Tanker Genuine Venus. I'm greatly honored, together with my crew, to have been chosen by the Mission to Seafarers as one of the recipients of Rescue Award for our efforts to rescue and be instrumental in the survival of 6 persons. At the time of the incident, our sense of duty and responsibility for others took over despite overwhelming odds. The prevailing weather was at its most violent, crashing out waves and tossing the vessel around. In this most trying of situations, a distress signal was witnessed, without broadcast or call for help, prompting us to carry our universal obligation to provide assistance for persons in need. We may have not taken them on board, yet our response provided the means for communication to the nearest Maritime Rescue Coordination Center. The rescue team was truly grateful for the indispensable help for them to easily locate the survivors at sea. We became the metaphorical shield against the wind and waves, offering them the chance to pick up the survivors without danger. In behalf of the Genuine Venus crew, thank you very much to the Mission to Seafarers for this award. Also, we'll take this opportunity to thank Captain Yuji Okawa for the nomination, K-Line Ship Management Chemical Singapore, K-Line Private Limited, and Ventis Maritime Corporation. A million thanks.
What incredible bravery there. And thank you, Paul, from HFW. I should also mention that you're sponsoring the Delightful Glass Awards, which are being given to the winners today. So thank you for that. And of course, congratulations to the winner of the Rescue at Sea Award, Captain Dekane, and to the highly commended Captain Batula as well. I'm sure you'll agree they're incredibly brave with what they do. And now I'd like to introduce Mohammed bin Abu Bakr, who's the Vice President of SOS. That's the Singapore Organization of Seamen. SOS are also silver sponsors, and we thank them for their support of these awards. Mohammed bin Abu Bakr will present the all-important Secretary General Award to the person or company who's shown sustained efforts to improve seafarers' welfare at sea or ashore. Over to you, Mohammed.
Thank you, Saranjit. Good morning in London. Good afternoon, Singapore. This is a two-zone way of. Before the awards proper, please allow me to share a few words. SOS is one of the 2 trade unions in Singapore representing seafarers together with our sister union, SMOU. We put seafarers at the forefront of everything we do. SOS aims to protect and promote the welfare of seafarers through negotiation with ship owner and operators to improve their working and living condition. SOS has always been strong supporters of like-minded individuals and organizations that advance seafarers' rights and well-being. One such organization is the Mission to Seafarers. The Mission to Seafarers provide help and support to all seafarers in need through many welfare programs and initiatives, from on-board welfare visit, running of drop-in center around the world to provide of life-sustaining supply to seafarers is need. The Mission to Seafarers have always been there for seafarers. And for that, SOS is proud to support and sponsor the mission of the good work they have done in supporting seafarers. It gives me a great pleasure to announce our 6th and last award. the Secretary General Award, which recognizes an individual or company who have shown sustained effort to improve seafarers' welfare at sea or ashore. We have a number of shortlisted nominees from this award. They are PTC, Tom, EPS, Mr. Savvy Thomas, MPA, Atmore Shipping. First, we would like to present highly commended award to the winner, Atmore Shipping, Anthony Gurney. We congratulate all who have made the short list. Each one outstanding and all worthy, I think everyone will agree. However, only one can carry the trophy away, and so I am delighted to announce that the winner of the year Secretary General Award is Tom, Singapore. Nominated by Giselle Saloon, Corporate Communications and Marketing Executive. Congratulations to them. Tom established a partnership with ISWAN and CRRM Tom Group to provide high-quality premium telemedia service to provide assistance and to support the mental well-being needs of both seafarers and its staff. The ISWAN 24/7 helping line was operated by specially trained counselors who were available not only to Tom office employees but also to their families. In 2020, Tom Ship Management launched TSM Friday Date as a vehicle for keeping in regular contact with its seafarers who are under quarantine and waiting for their respective deployment schedule. They communicated continuously via social media, email, campaign, and poster on board on the importance of mental health and handling stress and anxiety for seafarers. Their officer in office program aimed to bridge the gap between the crew on board and the staff ashore. It was established by Strategic Marine HR as a series of crew connectivity programs. Other such programs include their senior officer from partnering success and the Tom mentorship program, and they open to crew of all nationalities. They've been a channel through which Tom can engage and hear directly from their sea staff through open dialogue. Tom initiated a Life Well Sea program with the aim of supporting their sea staff in leading holistic lifestyle, which of course lead to a state of well-being. That is the process of checking the feasibility and benefit of running such a program on a long-term basis beyond the pandemic. Tom also launched their onboard competition for seafarers, which enhance engagement with their fleet to strengthen camaraderie, create friendship, improve teamwork, and also improve mental well-being. There are cash prize for all the winners. The TSM Privilege Card Program has grown to encompass 8,390 TSM Privilege Card holder who enjoy the prepaid loadable card benefit used for other cashless payment. This program is designed to cater for the needs of seafarers and to also enhance their mental and social well-being. With the numerous privileges and benefit seafarers on shore and at home can take advantage of special offer on health insurance, education, housing loan, car loan, postpaid mobile package. The offer are specially tailored to meet their need, especially during their pandemics. Tom ran a wide variety others initiatives, including strict safety protocol on board relating to PPE and health check, regular monitoring of crew health, and also temperature check, as well as a vaccination program for crew and global employees, and accident and medical insurance while on board, including health or medical insurance for dependents. I'm sure you will all join me in congratulating Tom, and now we will hear from Klaus Torstensen, who will accept the Secretary General Award. Thank you.
Good day. My name is Simon Frank. I'm the CHRO in Thoma Group. Firstly, can I thank the Mission to Seafarers for creating these 5 awards categories aimed at recognizing the good work being done for crew welfare and for the sponsors in helping to make this event such a great evening. Winning the Secretary General Award is so gratifying as it recognizes the work that we have put into offer as much as help and support as possible for our workforce, and I'm deeply honored and proud to accept it on behalf of the Thoma Group. Central to our company's philosophy is putting our staff at the center of everything we do, and making sure that we look after their mental and physical well-being is paramount. This is why we felt it was very important to provide as much help and support as possible to our workforce, to show them how much we value the sacrifices they make on a daily basis to ensure that global supply chains are maintained. Seafarers have been particularly hard done with the longer than anticipated contracts due to travel restrictions and at the height of the virus. Their families have also been suffering as a result of not knowing when they could expect to see their loved ones again. Undoubtedly, this puts a strain on an individual's mental health, so having support networks does help to ease the burden. Different maritime companies, associations and charities are doing excellent work in raising awareness about seafarer mental health and well-being. But as countries begin to ease COVID-19 restrictions, we must join forces as an industry to pressurize world governments into prioritizing vaccinations for seafarers to allow them to move freely. We are already seeing queues at ports due to the increase in demand as the world starts to wake up and economies recover. And this should not be disturbed by a lack of crew availability due to any remaining global COVID-19 protocol. Working through the pandemic has been hard, but I'm proud to say that our employees has risen to the challenges that came as them with great teamwork, good communication and mutual respect. Again, thank you to Mission to Seafarers for this award.
Well, thank you so much, Mohammed, for announcing this award, and congratulations again to Tommy for winning the Secretary General Award, and of course to Almor for receiving recognition as highly commended. Well, I would like now to introduce someone who's no stranger to all of you, Esben Paulsen, a well-known face in the shipping industry. Esben is one of 2 vice presidents of the Mission to Seafarers, and he's been very influential over the past 18 months in driving forward the Flying Angel campaign, which has raised £680,000 for the mission's emergency work in 2020, and the Sustaining Crew Welfare campaign, which has reached £454,000 just last week. Congratulations for that, Esben. Of course, all funds are being used to provide additional support to seafarers during these unprecedented times as we seek to alleviate distress and bring compassion and friendship as well as physical assistance. Now, Esben, of course, is chairman of the International Chamber of Shipping, which is the London-based association whose membership comprises approximately some 80% of the world fleet. Esben is also the executive chairman of NSL, a Singapore-based ship-owning entity of a fleet of large container vessels, all under the Singapore flag. He's worked in the maritime industry for 50 years and has held a variety of senior management positions in Hong Kong, London, Copenhagen, and Singapore. Well, very warm welcome to you today. It's been great to see you again. Of course, we've had a real treat today, witnessing some of the most heroic acts and incredible initiatives, really, which has helped seafarers over the past years. And I'm sure in your many years in the industry, you've seen many changes too. You've spent now some 50 years in shipping. I must say, you don't look that age, but well done. What do you think are some of the most significant changes that you've seen in that time?
Well, there have been many. I think the aspects of safety, the aspects of just welfare, attention to well-being, food on board, connectivity, of course, is a very, very big one, because in the old days, as I've heard from Captain Rob Walker, people would sort of wait outside the radio officer's cabin and might have a 1-minute call through a crackly line to the loved ones, perhaps once a month. Now, with the advent of the internet and so on, crews are able to communicate readily with their families, and I think that is a very, very big, huge change. But there's also, I think, part of just general social responsibility. I think good employers realize that if you want to have and attract good seafarers, it's a two-way deal, and you have to treat them in every respect in a proper way, and you have to take care and an interest in their families. You heard some of the initiatives that Torme Ship Management have taken. Most ship managers are going, similar types of initiatives, and this is all aimed at well-being.
Yeah, I mean, how extraordinary, how much has changed, as you say, communication chief amongst them. Now, we have been talking a lot about this for these awards, but we know there's been an increased focus on seafarers and their welfare during the pandemic. And in fact, I interviewed you on the BBC about this very topic right when the pandemic first started, and it seemed increasingly apparent that seafarers were having a really tough time, a lot of them stranded at sea. So do you think companies are still doing enough for seafarers' welfare, and do you think they'll continue with this trajectory?
No, I think companies on the whole, the vast majority of companies have done what they can. I think my criticism would be of governments who, despite, I just cannot tell you the efforts that we in ICS and our fellow associations have made to have seafarers recognized for what they are, which is key workers. It's all in the Maritime Labour Convention, which is part of the International Labour Organization in Geneva. It's all in there. Governments have signed up to it. It's a sovereign document, and yet many, many governments just are not doing it to this day. And this has exacerbated or been a contributing factor to the tremendous difficulties of crew change, which is an ongoing problem, and when you get a new strain, it only exacerbates it once again. But so I would say companies and ship managers and so on largely have done their utmost. Lack of airlines, of flights, has caused many to charter flights at huge expense, but recognizing that you cannot have people staying on board, as you said earlier, 17 months, and this is just not acceptable. And so the only way to do it is very often ship owners, managers have to take the law into their own hands and deal with it.
Yeah, so crucial that they do that. Now, we heard earlier, of course, Esben, you've raised a lot of money. You've influenced donations and support for the mission over the past 18 months, hundreds of thousands of pounds. So wonderful job there. Now, if you were speaking directly to companies today, what would you say to encourage them to offer more support for the mission?
Well, I think what we've seen today shows what the mission has done, is doing, and will continue to do. And I think that, if I may say so, liner companies in the container trades, to a lesser extent dry bulk companies, these two segments are enjoying golden times. And therefore, if ever there was a time for you to, well, there's not a checkbook anymore, but in any event, pay something, contribute something to the Mission to Seafarers. I think you've all seen what they do, the tremendous work that they do and continue to do. So now is the time. You're doing very, very well financially. I'm sure you get many requests for many different types of donations, but this is a very, very hands-on, real thing that is being done to these heroes of the sea who have kept the supply chains going through thick and thin. This is the time to donate.
Yep, such an important message, Esben, and I'm sure you all watching will agree and indeed give generously to such an important cause. Well, you know, we've got a little bit of fun now after all that serious talk, because we've been gifted some brilliant raffle prizes, which a lucky few will be recipients of. Esben, you'll be drawing the raffle for us. So let's start with the first one, which I believe is that box right there.
Okay.
So I'm going to pick it up and then let's have a look, shall we? Because this is an incredible prize. It's $300 from the British Club. So go ahead and
I'll look away so
highlight.
that I
Sure.
can't be accused of
Many of
anything.
you out there are probably wishing this has got to be me. So
Okay,
fantastic.
so I can only
So,
take one,
yes,
right? So,
go ahead.
okay. Do you want to, do I announce it or?
You announce it, and then I'm going to go look on
Okay.
this list here and to see who that number belongs to.
The
So
lucky
go on.
winner of this British Club prize is 112.
112 is, oh goodness, I hope I'm looking on the right line there. It's Celia Kang here in Singapore. Celia, congratulations, you've just won $300 from the British Club. Now, next we have another box for some Singapore-based prizes. We've got a few more prizes here, so those who didn't get a chance to win, do not despair. And this is, first of all, we've got 3 draws for $50 vouchers from Muddy Murphy's, which of course is located in Claymore Connect here in Singapore. You can visit their website as well, muddymurphys.com. So let's go for the first $50 voucher. This is for the first $50 voucher.
Okay.
Yeah, marvelous.
So the second one is number 20.
Ooh, okay, I think I've got another list there. So let me have a look. Who's on number 20? It is Fergus Eley. I hope I'm saying your last name correctly. Fergus E-L-E-Y. Eley, congratulations. You got $50 to go to Muddy Murphy's. We've got another prize from Muddy Murphy's. So let's have a look to see who's going to get the next $50 voucher.
Okay. Close by number 19.
19, okay. It's Dean Loveridge. Congratulations, Dean. You've got $50 there. So brilliant news. And the last voucher, which is another $50 at Muddy Murphy's.
The last one is number 32.
Number 32 is Lars Kastrup. I hope I'm saying your name right. Lars is Lars Kastrup. And congratulations, 3 of you will be going home with these $50 vouchers to Muddy Murphy's, but we still have 2 more prizes. The second prize, this one is a fantastic prize. This is an open data ticket for 2 people worth $459 for Royal Albatross's Sunday lunch sale. That includes a roast lunch and free flow wines and beer. I have been on the Royal Albatross. I must say it is absolutely delightful. It's an absolutely gorgeous ship. So who's the lucky winner there?
Lucky winner there is number 37.
37. Lucky 37 is Maya Donevska here in Singapore. Maya, congratulations. You'll be going off with a friend or a partner to that wonderful cruise. And our final prize is a bottle of Pusser's rum donated by Mr. Mike Mead. And the lucky winner of this one is?
Number 3.
Oh, number 3, gosh. Gerald Ng. Well, big congratulations, Gerald Ng. You have won a bottle of rum from Mike Mead. So once again, a big congratulations to all our winners. Thank you for helping pick those lucky prizes, Esben. So fantastic chatting to you as well. What a delight. Now, at this point, we're going to go back to Sun Kok, who will present in this short video, which gives us really a bit of an insight into the frontline work that we've been hearing so much about here in Singapore and the surrounding region.
Mission to Seafarers has been around in Singapore for more than 90 years. We are there to help seafarers, their families, and in the advocacy of seafarers and the spreading of the gospel. We go on board the ship to visit the crew to seek out those with problems. Every year, more than 2,600 seafarers have met with an accident on the job, and because they are far away from home, there's no one to support them. Over 3,000 seafarers have been held hostage by pirates, and there's no one to help them deal with their post-traumatic fear, either emotionally or psychologically. Being away from home sets them feeling very lonely, very isolated. We reach out to them to see if they have any spiritual needs. We will pray with them and we act as counselor to see if they need help with their salary or with their relationship with their colleagues. We can always act as a role of a mediator. When I go on board the ship, I always ask the captain for permission to conduct a spiritual service. They don't have to be Christians. It can be anyone from any faith who wishes to join the service. Being a chaplain, I'm always concerned with the well-being of a seafarer. I will always come alongside him to ask him how is he doing, how is his family faring, is there any other things that I can do to help him, is there anything that we can pray for him. Our drop-in centers are a home away from home for seafarers. We provide free Wi-Fi, telephone, simple recreation like snooker, darts, massage chair, and we give out free clothing and books for them to take away. Once a month, we provide free dinner for seafarers for them to come together for fellowship. Sometimes if they needed to go to the city and they need transport, we'll bring them to the city free of charge. For us, helping seafarers brings us tremendous joy. We are always on standby to care for seafarers wherever they are. This seafarer was hospitalized for over 6 months. He has lost both his legs and is all alone here in Singapore. Most of the time they do not have families, they do not have friends here. The Mission to Seafarers Singapore is the only friend they have. We are there to support, to be a friend to them. Seafarers deliver 90% of the food and products we use every day. And so it's important to care for their well-being. The Mission to Seafarers can only do this through support and donations from you. So please help us. Thank you.
And that was Soon Kok with just some of the very important work that the Mission to Seafarers is doing here in Singapore and in the region. Well, you heard from him at the start. Here is Rob Walker again to close up our awards for us.
Thank you again, Sharanjit. And sadly, this brings our ceremony to a close. I hope you agree that the awards were indeed well deserved, and my congratulations to all the winners. And many thanks again to the judges for stepping up to what was a very difficult challenge, I'm sure. I want to thank all our sponsors and supporters, particularly those that were in our studio today. Thank you, Nick, and thank you, Rashpal, and of course, thank you to Esben for spending valuable time with us here in the studio. Thank you again, Sharanjit, for making this a very professional event. And I would just like to say, and I'm not going to tempt fate, I don't think, but I want to advise you that the awards for 2022, the nominations will be opening very soon. And thinking positively, like we always do, we're hoping that the next event will indeed be a dinner event, and we're hoping it'll be in May, and we're trying to target the date of May 19. So please watch this space and we'll keep you well advised. Before I go, I do want to say a big thank you to all the people behind the scenes. It's been a lot of effort and a lot of work's gone into today's event. We've got support from IHQ in London as well as here in Singapore. It's been a very, very long event in the last few months as we've worked towards this, and I believe that you know, we've served our seafarers very well and made this event quite a memorable one. So it just remains for me to say, until we meet again, please stay safe.
Well, thank you so much for that really important message, Rob, and for wrapping up these great awards. And I hope you've all enjoyed all the presentations and the videos of the mission's very crucial and important work at this time during the height of the pandemic. But before we conclude, I'd like to share with you the mission's new event, which is going to be taking place in May 2023. And this is the Adventure Race in Japan. Now, the mission is looking for sponsors for the event to join Swire and APM terminals as gold sponsors. The event will cover 2 days of trekking, trail running and water activities, and of course a chance to network with 150 members from the industry. There will be 50 teams of 3 hiking or running groups across some of the most stunning scenery on the Izu Peninsula. We have an active committee advising and assisting, which includes James Woodrow, Tom Bonehill, Ken Hasui, Sakura Kuma, and Edward Ion, as well as Christopher Eve, the mission's chairman over in Japan. We hope you will stay to watch the short video, which follows and concludes these awards. In the meantime, we hope you will sign up for the Singapore Awards in 2022, as Rob has just said. And of course, that adventure race in Japan in 2023, which sounds very exciting indeed. And for me, I only have to say goodbye. It's been a real privilege to be hosting these awards for you. And thank you for joining us on this really special occasion to celebrate and recognize the important role that seafarers, all of you out there, play in our daily lives. Thank you.